The Eplan bundling function allows for the grouping of multiple cable conductors into a single bundle, which simplifies the design process and improves clarity in documentation. Now Ian Underhill is going to explain how to use this feature.
So today we're going to look at creating bundles. So we use bundles to represent sometimes just individual connections, sometimes to represent a cable. The idea being that an example like this, where we've got an encoder that's mounted in the field and a PLC interface module, a point I/O encoder in this case, that's in the panel. We want to connect the two together, but we don't want to use just angles because connection 1 doesn't necessarily go to connection 1. They're not in order. And if we used angles, it would make it very confusing to follow. So we want to bring them down to a single bundle to make the drawing look nice and the connections to be maybe a little bit more obvious. So that's what we use a bundle for. Before we start placing a bundle, there are a couple of items that we do need to look at. So if we go to the Tools menu and Layers, here we see the layers. And if we scroll down, if we click on the layer, double click it, it will sort them in order so that we can go down. The layers that we're looking for, first is layer 311, which is the standard auto connection. So we want to look at the line thickness. So here we see the line thickness for this layer, in this case is 0.25. And then we go and compare that with the line thickness for layer 317, which you see, we zoom in, is 1 millimeter. And that's the important thing, that there's a difference between those two, that the standard auto connecting line is smaller in thickness than the bundle connection points. So this is a sort of 4:1, and that works just fine. We need that so when we place the bundles, we can understand which is the bundle and which is the connection. So let's start to place those. Now we've confirmed that the layers are set in the correct manner. So we'll go to the Insert menu, and here we see our bundle symbols. Here's our bundle symbols. The one that we particularly want to look at is this symbol here, the angle. So let's select the angle. This is going to be our first point. As with normal symbols, we use a tab key to rotate them round to go through the variants. And we want to select so that the connection, the thinner of the two lines, points towards the connection, and the bundle points vertically downwards. So this is the end of the connection. So close, but the bundle points upwards. We want the bundle to go downwards. So there we go. We've used the tab key to spin it round, and now I'm going to place the bundle. And the dialog box pops up, and here we can name the bundle connection point. It can be simply numeric, 1, 2, 3, 4, alphanumeric, A, B, C, D, E. In this case, it's going to represent a cable. So I'm going to use the cable color numbers or color codes. So the first of the colors is blue. So it connects to the first point. So I'm going to select OK. And there we see blue is defined as the first connection point. My preferred method now is to place the last one to define the bundle. The two ends of the bundle makes it easier to place the other points. So let's again use a tab key. And we use the tab key until we find the correct variant of the symbol. So here we see the bundle now connects, and it also connects to 0.8 on our encoder. I'm going to place this one down, and in this case we're going to use the orange core. So OG is the code for orange. Now I can hit the escape key. So I've defined the first and the last point. So now I'm going to go down each of the other points and connect them. And for these, I'm going to use the T node, this T node connection point. So again, use the tab key to rotate through the different variants. In this case, it would be variant D. And we can place them one at a time. So here's the first one. And that's going to be the grey, GY. And let's quickly go through placing these. So black is next. Pink. Brown. White. Final one here is going to be VT for violet. So once we've done that, the next is to extend the bundle towards our connection points. So here I'm going to use a bundle distributor T node. Place that there in the center. So now we're going to work on the other side of this bundle. So again, I'm going to start at the front, the first point and the last point to set the bundle. So I'm going to select the angle again. Let's start at the top here. So spin it round to pick the right variant. So I'm going to pick that variant there. And this is the beauty of the bundle now. So this isn't going to be the blue. Connection point 1 uses the brown wire. So BN for brown. Let's go all the way down to the bottom. And let's do the same for the last connection point, number 9. And connection point 9 is the orange wire, so OG. The next thing I'm going to do is decide where I want my connection of the bundle. So I could just use another bundle T node to connect it, say, in the center, graphically in the center, or depending on the space requirements, maybe I can use a bundle connection that not only connects the bundle, but also connects in a connection point. So I'm going to use that as an example in this case. So I'm going to pick this connection point 4 as an example. So here, again, in my insert menu, I pick this bundle connection point double junction. So this will be both connection to the bundle and an individual connection. So let's tab it round. So there we see the bundle is on the left, the individual connection is right. I'm going to place that on connection number 4. And connection 4 uses the black wire, so BK. And now I can use a standard angles to link the two parts together. So just using a standard angle, let's bring it down, tab it round again, and we connect it. If I go to connections, do an update, you see the bundle's connected now. So this particular point you see is both a bundle connection and an individual connection together. So now all we need to do is fill in the other connections. So again, to my insert menu, let's pick the standard T node for the bundle. Connection number 2, that's going to use the white wire, WH for white, and I'm going to go quickly down these. 3 is the blue wire. 5 is not used, so we'll go to 6. 6 uses the grey wire. 7 is the pink wire. And finally, the violet wire, BT for the last one. So now we see all our connections, and you can see how much nicer this would look than if you're having to use angles to take the blue down to here, the white up to this connection. It would get very confusing and difficult to read. Here it's easy. I can see the blue is going to connect to pin terminal number 3 here. So let's just update our connections. Then we can prove that that is the case by using, from the view menu, the potential tracking. So let's select potential tracking. We can connect the white wire, so that's the data wire here. And if I click on it, it will highlight, as you see, the link between this wire all the way up to the white wire there. I think the blue, it will connect, as we see. So that is how you use bundles. The key thing is make sure those layers are set correctly, because you won't see the difference between the bundle and the individual connections, which is really important when you're placing the symbols. So I hope that was useful.